Hello, Pokerbrandon here, and this is me playing a 2-3 hand at the Gardens, $100 to $200 buy-in. I showed you Jack-8 suited. Why did I show it? Why did I rake in the chips? Let's go to it. So there was a trying player at this table who opened to 10, and just a little note on him, he did not have $490. I made a mistake while making this hand. He only had about 200. But I will say that he was trying. He understood the logic of poker. He folded when he needed to. He would 3-bet pre-flop if he needed to. And he had a low VPIP. Wasn't playing too many hands. So he has a real hand. And it's going to fold around to me on the button with Jack-8 of diamonds. Now, this is a hand I want to see a flop with. It's not the best hand, but because I have position on the button and I trust my ability to bluff post flop if I need to, I go ahead and 3-bet. And the one trick I noticed playing at this 200 buy-in table was your 3-bets did not need to be big. So the whole goal of a 3-bet is to isolate one player and play heads up. I found that if you min clicked it, you were definitely getting isolated while playing at this table. So I felt like that was a good strategy to use in this spot where I just want to get isolated and play a hand heads up against an opponent while I have position. The only downside to min 3-betting is if you get 4-bet, but that's a risk I was willing to take, and luckily for me, both of the blinds got out of the way and I did go heads up to a queen 4-4 flop. Now, to play this hand profitably, I think here a c-bet is okay. Although, I do believe that my range does check here sometimes. Now, keep in mind that I check this after about 10 seconds, but my goal was to bluff at it on the turn after I check it here because I just did not want to bloat up the pot too much. And I actually feel like nowadays a c-bet after a 3-bet is super non-informational. Like all players just believe you're just c-betting with anything. So I didn't think a c-bet would work against this opponent. But I mean, I could have been wrong. Anyway, I end up checking it and we go to a turn, okay? So turn is a queen, and I think that's just a beautiful card because it just reassures me that my opponent does not have a queen. If he did, it's less likely that another queen would have hit the board. And he bets 25. Now after he bets 25, I really get reassured that my opponent doesn't have a queen because I felt like it was a little bit too big. I think he would bet way less, like 15, 10. If he had the queen to lure me in. So I stick to my plan, and even though he's betting, I think he's betting at best like a pocket pair, like pocket 9s, pocket 7s, pocket 6s. But he could be doing this with ace high a lot of the time. I think he's going to have all the ace highs, ace kings, ace jacks, ace 10s, ace X. So I go with my belief in my skill set, and I believe that I can bluff at this, so I raise him min. And the reason I raise min here is because it just looks so strong when the queen pairs, and then I raise him after he bets it. If he doesn't have a queen in this spot, it just looks like I have a queen a lot. So that was the goal, and the goal was not really, I didn't think I was going to get a fold there, but I did plan on blasting off on the river. So he did make the call, and we went to a 6 of hearts on the river. He checked it to me, and after about 10 seconds, I already decided that I was going to blast off on any missed card. If it was a jack, I might value bet it. But now I want him to fold, and I think that he will fold to a $100 bet here on this river. I think a $100 bet looks a little bit scarier than a jam of 140. I feel like a jam of 140 looks more like it could want a fold. So a $100 bet looks more like I want a call. And for this thinking type of player who's trying to make profitable decisions, I think it's going to work better to get him to fold his pocket pair or his ace high. So keep that in mind when you're bluffing at pots and you're bluffing in spots. You want to size appropriately to how your opponent is thinking. If your opponent is afraid of big shoves and big sizes, go big. If your opponent is thinking more and he might hero call, you don't want to go too big. You want to size up appropriately. So this is just me raking in the chips. I tried to film the board, but I couldn't. I was able to film my Jack-8 suited hand so you could see, and you see me sliding back in my $100 stack. But yeah, so what do you think about this bluff? One thing I do notate here is that you can bluff at 2-3. You can bluff for 200 max buy-in, and it will only work though against thinking players. So keep that in mind if you're trying to bluff in spots playing poker. Your opponent has to be a thinking player, and he has to be able to think his way into a fold while you're playing and while you're betting against him. But yeah, don't go trying to bluff everybody at a 2-3 table. Trust me, that will not work. Only bluff thinking players. Anyway, this was a 2-3 hand. I'm Pokerbrandon. This is Steve Aoki playing in Las Vegas a couple weekends ago. I'm Pokerbrandon, and I am out.